Enable. The Changemakers Season 2 in association with CNBC TV18.
2020 has been a difficult year in more ways than one, and the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic has been the hardest on those who had the least to begin with. As per an ASA survey, 1 in 3 rural children had no learning activity at all due to the shutting down of schools. Data from another report shows that the work participation rate for women fell from an already low 9.15% in December 2019 to just 5.8% in August 2020. Hello and welcome to Season 2 of The Changemakers on CNBC TV18. I'm Mridu Bhandari. Changemakers is our exclusive series that brings to fore the work of those organizations that are creating a monumental socio-economic impact through innovative and radical solutions to deal with the most pressing issues facing India's poorest and most marginalized communities. On today's episode, our changemaker is the EdelGive Foundation, that is the philanthropic initiative of the Edelweiss Group. As one of India's leading philanthropic fund managers and advisors, EdelGive Foundation is creating a deep and wide impact by nurturing the philanthropic ecosystem of India. By partnering with corporations, foundations, and HNIs to fund and build the capacity of credible small and mid-sized NGOs at the grassroots level, EdelGive Foundation is enabling social change in areas of education, women's empowerment, and sustainable livelihoods. Take a look.
Set up in 2008 to provide strategic direction to the philanthropic activities of Edelweiss and its employees, EdelGive Foundation is a leading grant-making organization that functions as a philanthropic fund manager and advisor between grant makers and credible small and mid-sized grassroots NGOs across the country. By acting as a liaison between different ecosystem entities, the EdelGive Foundation is building a strong, efficient, and a high-impact social sector by leveraging the capacity and capital of the for-profit world to equip and enable the non-profit sector to achieve transformational change for the vulnerable and disadvantaged communities in India.
I think the vision behind setting up EdelGive was to be a different kind of corporate foundation that provided both funding support as well as capacity building support. And you must remember, this was before the CSR law came into being. So this was therefore kind of one of a kind, in terms of the thinking. And I think over the years, our idea has been that small and medium-sized NGOs in the country do frontline work. They understand communities the best. And therefore, supporting them has become even more important, particularly in COVID, but even generally. So our journey along the way has been to identify great small and medium-sized nonprofits and support them along their journey to scale.
Over the last 12 years, EdelGive Foundation has supported over 150 NGOs working in 3 broad areas: quality education for children, building resilient livelihoods for vulnerable communities, and promoting the social and economic empowerment of women.
We started in 2008. We began with education, quickly moved into livelihoods and then women empowerment. Because really for EdelGive, it was very important to approach it from an ecosystem perspective, and at that time we were in early stages. But how we're very clearly looking at education, livelihoods and women's empowerment is really like this. In education, very less can happen without government participation. So we have this phenomenal large-scale partnership with the government of Maharashtra where 7 important funders have joined hands to work at scale. So we're working with more than 17 lakh children in Maharashtra, and we've not even begun. That's the level of scale that we are at and hoping to achieve going forward. In women empowerment, we really were thinking we're not doing enough if we only think of economic empowerment of women. So a very thoughtful embedding of social justice was put in there, where women have to be encouraged to access their rights. And last but not the least is our livelihoods portfolio, which really looks at rural empowerment, where we are talking about people being able to work and live at their place of residence, being able to use natural resources and their communities to do the best in their lives, and therefore distress migration is kind of discouraged. It's not just about partnering with projects, it's really about looking at the large-scale movement that we want out of these even small steps.
To address the social and economic inequalities that prevent women and girls from achieving their full potential, EdelGive Foundation has supported projects and partners whose efforts are focused on 5 key priority areas: freedom from violence and discrimination, access to legal justice, grassroots leadership, access to rights and entitlements, freedom from economic dependence. One among these partners is the NGO Iptada. Concentrating its efforts on women empowerment, Iptada works in 400 villages in 6 blocks of Alwar district in Rajasthan to create economic and social independence for the deprived women of the Mewat region. Iptada's interventions are focused on building a cadre of grassroots women leaders known as Adhikar Sakhis, who negotiate with government functionaries and Panchayati Raj institutions on issues of community rights and act as a point of contact for village members for help and support in accessing government schemes.
We will like us to be considered as EdelGive partners, maybe forever. So that's how the relationship with EdelGive is grown over years, and that's how EdelGive has engaged with us and maybe with the all NGO partners on strengthening the organizations as a whole, strengthening the sector as a whole.
हमारे गांव में अधिकार समिति बनाई, इप्तिदा और एडलगिव के स्टाफ आए.
With the help of Iptida and Edelgive Foundation in our village, the Gram Adhikar Samiti was formed. The Gram Adhikar Samiti selected me as an Adhikar Sakhi. In our village every month, we hold Gram Adhikar Samiti meetings to discuss the challenges, issues and solutions for the development of the village. We hold these meetings monthly.
गांव की जो भी समस्या होती है उसको चर्चा की जाती है. हमारे जो क्रांति महिला मंच चल रहा है उसमें
80 villages are connected through our Kranti Mahila Manch, bringing together 365 groups and 4,222 women. Iptida organization is associated with us, and through them we've learned how to make Adhikar Sakhis, a committee for women, how to empower and train them so that our women can go anywhere and ask for their rights.
इनको ट्रेनिंग दो, इनको अपना हक लेना सिखाओ. तो वो चीज़ हमारी सारी महिलाओं तक हमने पहुंचाई, उनको सारी महिलाओं की चीज़ समझाई. आज हमारी महिलाएं कहीं भी जाके अपना हक मांग सकती हैं.
Another focus area for EdelGive Foundation is providing children with equal access to quality education, irrespective of background, gender, and socio-economic status. The Foundation's priority areas in ensuring quality education for children include school transformation, early childhood education, innovation and experimentation, research and advocacy.
Right now we are working in about 7 districts. We are working with 7 funders. I want to name them. There is Great Eastern Shipping, there is SAR Group, which is the Sita Devi Malhotra Trust Foundation, one of the first who entered this partnership because it was a high stakes partnership and we went to people who we trusted. Tata Trust joined us, Credit Suisse joined us, Dalian Foundation, a foundation from Switzerland joined us, HD Parekh joined us. It's just, and all this with the initial audacity that Edelweiss showed. So with the 7 of us, we're going really strong, and we will be looking to expand this footprint when we'll have to balance both the funders as well as the NGOs. Gyan Prakash, joined us, and it was really the state government, the principal secretary at that time, Nand Kumar, and Kyalia joined us, and then this became a project where we would work with government systems to enable that the last mile is reached. The first year was just about 25,000 children trying to address their needs, working with systems that address their needs. But it's turned around so well that within a year and a half we could scale it to more than 1.5 million, which is like nearly 15 lakh children. And we're very excited. It looks like in the next decade, the entire Maharashtra will be working with, important officials in all of Maharashtra to improve the delivery of education and the quality of education the child gets in Amravati and Gadchiroli and places like that, not just in Bombay.
To achieve this goal, the collaborators for transforming education a public-private partnership with the Department of School Education and Sports, Government of Maharashtra, was facilitated by EdelGive Foundation. Through this coalition, EdelGive intends to solve the multifaceted problem of education by bringing reforms at a systemic level. An essential partner of EdelGive in implementing this movement has been the Gyan Prakash Foundation that works in 4 districts in Maharashtra: Nandurbar, Parbhani, Satara and Solapur. KEF works at Amravati and Gadchiroli, and Quest works at Hingoli towards bridging the gap between the education policy and its implementation by adopting a data-driven decision-making approach at each level in the system.
We have, out of the 36 districts in Maharashtra, there are 4 districts where Gyan Prakash Foundation has been working, and 2 districts where Kaibali Education Foundation. So we are covering 6 districts. Now, why are we covering 6 districts? Is fundamentally to pilot the changes that we are making and to demonstrate this to the government, and then let the government fundamentally take ownership of transferring these processes right across the state.
The Collaborators for Transforming Education program works closely with teachers and all the administrative and academic structures across 7 districts of Maharashtra to enhance learning outcomes of children, build capacities of educational functionaries at multiple levels, and improve community ownership for sustainability.
प्रत्येक नाविन्यपूर्ण उपक्रम राबवणाऱ्या शिक्षकाला संधी देऊन त्याला ते मनोगत व्यक्त केलं जातं.
Giving the teacher a chance to express his thoughts is a very innovative venture. Those teachers whose activities fall behind, all of the CRG members take collaborative action to take it back or find a solution to it, like which topic should be taken up in the meetings of SMC or which topic should be given priority. And in the village meetings we hold, the priority is given to what funds should be sanctioned for the school. We use that program and consider those relevant topics.
विषय त्यामध्ये घेतो आणि त्याच्यामध्ये या प्रोग्रामचा आम्हाला नक्कीच उपयोग होतो.
The Gyan Prakash Foundation has provided invaluable assistance for the improvement of the school by holding a meeting of the school management committee on the 4th Saturday of the month, by discussing improving the quality of education of the students, and by discussing the physical needs of the schools.
The third leaf of EdelGive Foundation's portfolio concentrates on building resilient and sustainable livelihood opportunities through partnership with NGOs who are systematically transforming lives of the most vulnerable communities through contextual and targeted interventions in 4 focus areas: water for livelihood, financial inclusion, skill and institutional building, employability, skill building.
Around 2015, we moved our focus really to look at community, sustainable development of communities, sustainable livelihoods of communities. It worked really well because it's fascinating to see how much a community will respond with even small initiatives that help them build where they are. And across board, we saw very encouraging results.
An important partner in this focus area for EdelGive Foundation has been Pragati Corp.
Partnership EdelGive, जो कि
We are very happy to partner with EdelGive Foundation because the villages are now focused on increasing nutritional food security. They are eating vegetables food throughout the year, and simultaneously they are earning around 2 to 3 lakhs. And this is a big achievement.
they are incoming more than 2 to 3 lakhs. ये बहुत बड़ा achievement है.
The EdelGive program, implemented with 6,000 small and marginal farmers in 5 blocks of Koraput district in Odisha, has focused on increasing nutritional food security and income through a system of crop intensification in paddy, millets, pulses and vegetables.
So with support of EdelGive Foundation, we are promoting system of crop intensification for nutritional food security of small and marginal farmers. So we had a target to reach out to 6,000 small and marginal farmers, and so far we have covered 7,093 farmers who are adopting system of crop intensification in paddy, millets and pulses.
Eco-friendly irrigation infrastructure with half-acre model farms have been demonstrated in 10 villages for income enhancement of small and marginal farmers.
Pragati supported me for a half-acre model. They gave me papaya plants, raw materials for farming. They also supported me with solar pump, because of which I could save rupees 20 to 25,000, which I spent it on diesel. I planted papaya trees in 800 square meter of the land, brinjal and pointed gourd in 400 square meter each, and seasonal vegetables in rest of the 400 square meter. I made 2 lakhs by selling the vegetables from my half-acre model.
On that note, let's slip into a short break right now. But on the other side, we take a look at some of the initiatives that EdelGive Foundation is driving as part of its collaborative philanthropic approach. Stay with us on The Changemakers Season 2 exclusively on CNBC TV18.
The Changemakers Season 2 in association with CNBC TV18.
Welcome back. You are watching Season 2 of The Changemakers on CNBC TV18. And on today's episode, we are shining the spotlight on the different initiatives of the EdelGive Foundation, which is in fact the philanthropic arm of the Edelweiss Group. To effect change in a sustainable manner, it's crucial that all stakeholders become a part of the transformational process. EdelGive Foundation realizes this and is managing many collaborative initiatives for a positive social impact. Here's more.
EdelGive curates special collaborative projects where several donors come together and support large projects for collective impact.
I think of all the sectors, the need for collaboration is probably the highest in the development sector. And the reason for that is actually twofold. One is that the scale of the problems in India is really huge. Whether you look at issues around maternal health, whether you look at issues around education, where we have over 220 million school-going children, most of them in the government sector. So I think when the scale is so large, you need to have a systems approach. The second is that government will always be a really big part of development. That is their responsibility. They have the strength, they have the resources. But philanthropy will only be a minuscule part. So therefore, only by collaborating in philanthropy with the different stakeholders, whether it's the funders, whether it's the NGOs, government, multilateral agencies, this collaboration can help drive both a systems approach as well as an approach to solving problems at scale.
Presently, EdelGive Foundation is part of many coalitions with multiple stakeholders in different areas of impact creation. These are the Collaborators for Transforming Education, launched by EdelGive Foundation in 2016 to support the government of Maharashtra. The Coalition for Women Empowerment, started by EdelGive Foundation in 2019 to enable social and economic empowerment of women in India. EdelGive is also a core member of the India Climate Collaborative, a first-of-its-kind initiative that brings together India's top philanthropists to address the increasing and pressing climate crisis in India. Pay What It Takes initiative, a multi-year initiative working towards awareness building, strategic guidance, and engaging NGOs to get their inputs on building a resilient non-profit sector. And EdelGive is also a strategic partner to the Migrants Resilience Collaborative, a multi-stakeholder collaborative of non-profit, philanthropic and private sector actors facilitated by Jan Sahas, which is focused on ensuring safe and responsible recovery of migrant families and their livelihoods in India post-COVID-19.
I think in the midst of this crisis, we've seen many things that have not gone right, but the approach, the combined approach of philanthropy, of corporates, of NGOs, of government has really helped in ensuring that the people who were most impacted by COVID actually saw some relief.
To counter the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic, EdelGive Foundation has recently developed and will be launching the Grow Fund that aims to build, support and sustain 100 grassroots organizations across India over a period of 24 months.
The thinking behind the Grow Fund is that we need resilience in the NGO sector. We need that resilience because they are the ones who go in communities, and they are the ones who perform acts around food security, around providing livelihood connections and access. And I think this is what really triggered our thinking around setting up the Grow Fund, which would bring together a cohort of 100 due diligenced NGOs to whom we could provide funding over the next 2 years, along with very curated capacity building targeted to what they really needed. And this is really what we passionately believe is required over the next 2 years.
Edelgive Foundation's philosophy of giving back to society extends to its employees, Edelweiss, who volunteer their partner NGOs for donation drives, disaster relief operations, and capacity building projects.
We encourage, and we ourselves are funders of capacity building. We have some outstanding organizations like ourselves who also fund capacity building, but we are less in number. I really hope we look into a future where a lot of funders can join us in funding capacity building of this sector, which is completely cash deprived when it comes to building its own strength. We're just serving communities. We're not building the strength of the ecosystem where philanthropy has to nurture.
Edelgive Foundation, through its extensive network of partners, foundations, and NGOs, is investing in social transformation through a collaborative philanthropy model, which is enabling and empowering the not-for-profit social sector to generate a higher positive impact in the society.
Our vision going forward is how do we work with these different actors in the philanthropic ecosystem and deliver solutions in a very collaborative way that can fasten impact, that can fast forward or accelerate impact. And I think that is really our passion. We want to look at ourselves as somebody who can manage philanthropy for large, funders who really don't, have the time to set up full-time teams. So our work over the last few years has been largely around building that learning platform that can allow all the different players in the philanthropic ecosystem to work with each other and to collaborate.
Well, Edelgive Foundation's comprehensive reach and its responsible and effective approach to philanthropy is truly remarkable. On that note, we bring down the curtains on this episode of The Changemakers Season 2. But of course, as always, we'll continue to bring you stories of changemakers who are spearheading the movement for a better and a more equitable society. Thank you very much for joining us today. Goodbye.
The Changemakers Season 2 in association with CNBC TV18.